Hello everyone and welcome back to Julian's Discussion. I'm your host Zachary Julian and today we are going to be discussing not the 2022 Senate elections, but we're going to take a way too early look at the 2024 Senate elections. Here's the map. For this, I believe that this is the Class 1 electoral map. And there's some states here that are obviously pretty safe to start out with. Wyoming, Utah, Nebraska, Missouri, call Indiana safe, call Ohio safe. North Dakota can be called safe, but there's a lot of safe Democratic seats too. Washington, California, Hawaii. I'm going to leave Minnesota all of this. We'll get to Minnesota later. Call New York safe. Virginia's always an interesting one. Most of these are also going to be safe seats. Call Bernie Sanders win a Democrat for the purposes of this. Technically, he's an independent, but he does caucus with the Democrats. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, all pretty historically safe Democratic seats. This is not in presidential elections because I don't have a Senate map like this. That's just, I can just easily show the history. But outside of New Hampshire, these are all very blue states in the past 2 decades. And even New Hampshire, you have to go back to 2020, 4 years prior to these elections happening to find another one. So here this is just another look at and who currently holds each state or each seat. As you see, this is very much a heavy election for both sides, but I do believe that Democrats have more at stake in this election, especially given how many could very well be lost. So we're just going to go ahead and fill in other safe states here. For the purposes of this, we're going to call Tennessee and Mississippi safe, and with that entire band being Democratic, we are going to leave Maryland as a safe Democratic state and Maine as a safe Democratic state. I don't feel the need to take more time and discuss those. However, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, this is those blue wall states plus Minnesota, and I believe Minnesota is just as possibly a swing state as any of the other 3 states. It just has not happened. And I don't remember the last time Minnesota has voted Republican. You might have to go back, or no, you have to go back further than, 1972, Richard Nixon. There's a fun trivia fact for you guys. But they have the longest consecutive streak of voting Democrat of any state. So that does, of course, presidential elections don't necessarily lead to Senate success. I'm sure John Tester of Montana, Senator Tester, would love to tell you that though he currently holds the Montana Senate seat, it is far from a safe Democratic seat, especially when it's very unlikely Montana goes to the Democrats in a presidential election anytime soon. So here's where that concept of split ticket voting is very important for some of these states. Florida is another one that this could be important. Then the senator there is Senator Rick Scott, up for re-election. He is currently a 1-term senator, as are just a few others that switched. Kirsten Sinema is the biggest name to watch, and of course that very much depends on how this year's election plays out for Senator Kelly of Arizona. But I do think that will go to the Democrats by a lean margin. I don't think that's going to be a massive margin. New Mexico, I think, will go by a likely margin. And these are not all going to be safe margins up in New England, but they are all safer Democratic seats. Margin points, I don't feel like getting into them. Whereas once we're down to here, these are all states that could conceivably swing. I do think that Minnesota will maintain their Democratic seat, and that could be by a safe margin. Now, Wisconsin with Tammy Baldwin, that's always a very important race for both sides. So we're going to leave that for last. Same with Pennsylvania and Florida, I also want to leave out. And is this Manchin's election in West Virginia? It is. So the races here to watch for Republican flips are going to be, I'm going to just label here quick. We're going to label them with purple, because why not? So Montana and West Virginia, and then Wisconsin are your most likely flips for the Republican Party to gain. All of these are held by, currently held by Democrats. Senator Manchin, Senator Baldwin, Senator Tester, and Senator Robert Casey in Pennsylvania. Then in Michigan, Senator Stabenow. That I don't see switching. I do think Democrats will maintain that, in part due to her experience in the Senate. If she does decide to continue running, I do think that'll serve the party well. Virginia, it's a swing state. It's not going to. I have a hard time believing it will be going to the Republican side anytime soon. And now the Republicans aren't the only ones who are going to be hoping to make gains in this. Texas, Florida, those are going to be targeted, and Nevada is still 2 Democratic senators at the time. Though Senator Rosen is in her first term right now, I do think that will be. And actually, I'm going to say Democrats have a good year, and it goes by a likely margin. I mean, this isn't impossible. It's not necessarily likely. But, this is also a presidential election year. Right now, I'm just going to assume it's once again Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. This is both a possible outcome and arguably the most likely outcome for the 2024 presidential election. Now, honestly, I don't think that will be the race. I don't know if either of those will be actually the nominees. However, it does make for an easier assumption than trying to guess the primaries. So going back to predictions, assuming that Democrats put forward someone that's popular and really popular across the entire country, but is able to draw some crossover support from Republicans, I can see Montana being a state to where they actually hold. However, I'm going to leave that purple more so as a swing state. I don't think that Wisconsin flips. Senator Baldwin had successfully defended her seat, I believe, twice. Okay, no, this will be her second time. But she won her seat after another Democrat held it before her. He retired. That was Senator Herb Pohl, who held the seat before her. Once he retired, Senator Baldwin won, and she still holds that seat. And after that, you have to be considering a state like Florida. Now, going back to Florida, and if I can just find it here on my list from Ballotpedia, very useful website, he won by 0.2 points in Florida in 2018. He beat the Democratic incumbent. Could he win again? Yes. Could the Democrats win again? Yes. This is a state I very much think it depends on who the nominee is for each party and what kind of support they can get, how many voters they can get into the polls. However, if we were going to be safe with that, I'm going to be nice to the Republicans. I'm going to give them Florida. Texas is another one. But this is Senator Cruz. He is transforming into one of the more controversial politicians in America. And because of that, and because of other electoral shifts in the state of Texas, I think it's a matter of when, not if, they go and elect a statewide Democrat to represent them. And if it doesn't happen in 2024, I do think it will be by the 2032 election. But I do think that 2024 is a very good chance of the perfect storm and running to go less than a point, but I do think Democrats have a real chance at winning Texas. I do think Democrats will hold Pennsylvania again. Of course, that's assuming the incumbent decides to run. This will be for his fourth term, 2012, 2018, 2024 re-elections, which leaves just West Virginia and Montana. We are already at a point to where Republicans have not made a gain. I have not projected on this map yet. And this is a way too early look. This is very much subject to change, and I'm not even going to stand by this in even 2 months. This is just my first outlook, looking ahead to this election. I can very much see everything I've said happening so far. However, it's very easy to see where it happens. I think that Jon Tester will keep his seat. However, I don't think Joe Manchin will. Montana's slowly becoming more, I don't want to say like it's going to switch in a presidential election. It's actually coming more red. But you can see that with the right candidate, it's a very close election. Obama and McCain. McCain only won that by less than 2.5 points. If the Democrats can field an Obama-like presidential candidate to where popular across party lines, I do believe it is not only possible, but quite likely Tester wins his seat just due to how rare it is for incumbents to lose. Like this, don't let this 6 seats in 2018 fool you. It's not common for incumbents to lose their seats. And when it does happen, it does tend to happen in those waves. However, as I see this election happening right now, I don't see Joe Manchin winning his seat again. There are things that can change that, similar to why I think Tester can win. If you want to take a look at West Virginia going back to 2008, again, Obama made significant inroads there, and that's the only election not won by a safe margin. Every election since 2008. Before that, it was 12-9, 6-3. West Virginia was a Clinton state. But then again, a lot of what we would now call a Republican stronghold were Clinton states: West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana. If you want to call Iowa, though I will still call Iowa a swing state. So anyways, this is where I see the 2024 Senate elections being, and right now, today, as of July 21st, 2022, there is at least 2 years, 3 months, and 2 or 3 weeks to Election Day, decision 2024. However, this is where I see the map line ending up. One flip for each side's canceling each other out. Other ones that I can see possibly flipping: Florida, Montana, Wisconsin. That's why I see being the most likely. West Virginia and Texas, these are the states to watch for flipping. I do think Texas and West Virginia will flip. The other 3 I do think will stay. Wisconsin, I definitely think stays. Florida, if there's an Obama-like candidate that can draw voters out, and if voter turnout nears 2020 levels, you never know what's going to happen in a state like Florida. Even in a state like Ohio, an upset might happen. It's way too early to actually predict this. I just wanted to put out my thoughts on this election. Anyways, have a great day. You can always watch my 2022 Senate videos. Otherwise, I'm going to start putting out more 2022 videos, but I'm also going to start looking ahead to the presidential election 2024, seeing who might run on each side, see if Trump will run, if Biden will run, and what happens in a rematch. If you want like those ideas, feel free to like and subscribe. comment if you have other ideas, and comment your opinions on this on the 2024 Senate elections. And what do you think I got right, and what you think I got horribly wrong? Anyways, have a good day, and that's all I got for you.